fatal blows are easily the most misunderstood attack in Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 11 has been out for a while now, and I think most people would universally agree that fatal blows are unfair. And that's why a lot of players think that fatal blows should not return in the next game. However, I'm here to tell you otherwise and convince you why you actually hate fatal blows. Much like a therapist, I'm going to dig deep into your mitochondria and explain to you why you actually hate this move and how it could be saved and why it should also stick around. One big complaint a lot of people have about fatal blows is how you actually get access to it. Instead of having to save your meter and be responsible, you just get it for having your butt handed to you. Once your health bar reaches 30%, you just get to have this move, and it's extremely powerful for a variety of reasons. However, I don't think the way fatal blow is given is actually the issue, because at least now we see it in games like Mortal Kombat 11. If you watch gameplay of Mortal Kombat X, especially high-level gameplay, you're almost never going to see X-ray. And the reason why is quite obvious. There are much better ways to spend your meter in that game, mainly a combo breaker. Mortal Kombat X combos are no joke. You can easily lose half your health to a single combo, and as a result, you want to have combo breaker available whenever possible. And honestly, even a regular combo that spends 1 or even 2 bars of meter is going to do more damage than an X-ray combo. So once again, there's pretty much no reason to ever use your super in Mortal Kombat X. And even if we cross over into a game like Injustice, you're still not going to see supers very often, and that's interesting because there is no combo breaker in this game, at least not in Injustice 1. Instead, you had the wager system, and you could only use it once every match. And as a result, you had to be careful when you chose to use this move because you only got it once during the entire match. However, a nice side effect was you also saw supers a bit more often in the Injustice game, because since you were no longer saving up for a combo breaker, you would just let it rock with an awesome super attack. And that was especially true if your character had a broken super, like Superman. Now, with all of that being said, super attacks were still super rare even in the Injustice games. You almost never saw them, especially at high level play. And once again, it's because the super was tied to your meter, and the meter was so much more important for other things. And that's actually why I do love how the fatal blow works in Mortal Kombat 11. I think tying your super to the health bar is actually a very good idea, because now we see it very often, sometimes every single round, or at least once every match. By separating the super attack from the meter system, NetherRealm made a move that is used way more frequently, and then on top of that, even if the move is blocked or it misses, you just get it back a few seconds later, and even if you die before you get it back, you still have it the next round. And that's why using your super in Mortal Kombat 11 is actually a very good idea. In fact, this move was actually too good, which is why NetherRealm had the forethought to limit it to once a match. If you land this move in the first round, you can't use it in round 2 or even round 3. It's just gone. And if I'm being honest, I think that was a very smart decision, so good job NetherRealm Studios, props for the foresight. In summary, I don't think getting access to your super for losing health is a bad idea. In fact, I hope future games actually do this. So with that being said, what is the issue? Maybe it's the speed of the attack. Look at Scarlet's, not very good range, but it does start up in 13 frames, which is extremely fast. And most players will tell you that anything under 16 frames is unreactable. However, even if this fatal blow is a bit slower at say 17 frames, keep in mind you're not reacting in a vacuum. There are so many moves to look out for: a random low, an overhead, a throw that's actually a 50-50. There's so many things you're trying to keep an eye out for. So when you factor in all the different mix-ups, the frame traps, the possibility for a throw, even 17 frames or 19 frames can be considered unreactable. And also don't forget about the online element. When you're playing online, there's always going to be a bit of input delay or lag, something of that nature. It's just never going to be the same as playing locally. Technology's gotten pretty close, but we're still not there yet, and we might never be there. So when you take all of that into consideration, maybe even 20 frames wouldn't be slow enough, because there's so many things you're looking out for. There's online delay, there's input delay, there's some possible bad connections, all that annoying stuff. So maybe 20 frames is fair? The answer is no, because the startup speed of the fatal blow is not what makes it unreactable. For whatever reason, Mortal Kombat games in particular are missing a very vital element found in other fighting games. In fact, there's other games made by NetherRealm themselves that don't have this unreactable issue. And in order to show that off, we're gonna hop over to Injustice. Alright, so I'm playing Superman and I'm sitting on 4 bars of meter, which means I have access to the fastest super in the entire game. Not only does it start up in 6 frames, but it also travels the entire screen. Yes, you heard me correctly. This super attack from Superman is twice as fast as Scarlet's, which means this move is beyond unreactable. I can just pop this super at any point in time and my opponent's just screwed. Check it out. Oh wait, look at that. the opponent actually did have time to react even though the move starts up in 4 frames. And that's because the Injustice series has this little mechanic where the game zooms in and shows the character and then the super attack actually happens. And there's several different names for this, I'm just gonna call it a screen freeze. Believe it or not, about 90% of fighting games have a screen freeze just like this, and there's a couple of reasons why. Reason number 1, you can't just pop it in neutral and catch the opponent off guard. That's very important. Not only does it make things more fair for the opponent, but it also allows you to play the game. You can walk forward against Superman without fear of being popped in the face randomly by a super. So even if I do have 4 bars of meter, my opponent can still play the game fairly normally. They're not forced to walk forward and crouch every 2 seconds in sheer fear of this move. And this is absolutely not the case for Mortal Kombat 11, especially with certain characters like Aaron Black. Once Aaron Black has Fatal Blow, he just locks you down completely. After being nerfed, Aaron Black's Fatal Blow starts up in 18 frames, which is barely reactable offline, but online you have delay and lag, all that annoying stuff. Which means if you're the opponent, you have to expect this attack. You cannot block on reaction. You have to walk forward baby steps and crouch constantly. That is seriously your safest option. If you dash, he might catch you. If you jump, he can definitely catch you, especially on the way down. If you attack, he can interrupt you. If you dare throw any projectiles of your own, he can beat them on reaction. Once again, your safest bet is to take baby steps and constantly crouch, because anything else you do might open you up to the Fatal Blow, which is absolutely insane. But keep in mind that this Fatal Blow used to be even stronger. I think it started up in 10 frames or something insane like that. And then to make matters worse, the projectiles traveled faster across the screen, so this thing was the definition of instant. Even if you had Ultra Instinct level of reactions, you were still getting caught by this move. And of course that's why NetherRealm nerfed it, right? It was just way too strong to begin with. However, they wouldn't have had to slow it down if they just had a screen freeze instead, because that way the opponent could still react to it, but the Aaron Black player could still use it for combos or even use it on reaction to the opponent's attack. Once again, the screen freeze is amazing, and that's just reason 1. And then for reason number 2, the screen freeze almost demands that you combo into your super instead, because doing it randomly isn't going to work. Your opponent has time to react to it. However, you don't always have to combo into super. There's definitely a second option, and that's doing your super on reaction to the opponent's attack. As mentioned earlier, Superman's attack goes full screen and is extremely fast. And as a result, I can react to Batman's Batarang and interrupt it, power right through it, and still get my super. Doing supers on reaction is a great idea, and once again, the screen freeze actually incentivizes this tactic. So as you can see, having a screen freeze activate before your super is actually good for both players. It's great for the opponent because they can't just get caught randomly. That feels extremely unfair. But it's also good for the opponent because now they want to learn the best combos to combo into the super and get maximum damage, or it encourages the player to train their reaction times, that way they can counter the opponent's attacks the second they come out. In summary, having a screen freeze for your super is good, and that's why 90% of fighting games do have one. In fact, even Tekken, a series that never had supers until recently, also has a screen freeze, and that's important because I can guarantee you that Mortal Kombat 11 stole the Fatal Blow mechanic from this game. Well, maybe stole is a strong word. They were inspired by this game, and I know that because supers in Tekken 7 behave in the exact same way. When your character is below a certain amount of health, they gain access to their super, and this super is armored just like Mortal Kombat 11, so it's a great reversal attack, and it's great for comboing into in certain situations as well. And even though Tekken has never had supers in the past, most players don't complain about supers in Tekken 7, which is the exact opposite of Mortal Kombat 11, where players hate Fatal Blows, even though they're very similar to X-Rays and have existed in the past 2 Mortal Kombat games as well. Once again, the main issue is the screen freeze. The attacks being fast is not the issue, their damage is not the issue, their armor is not the issue either. And finally, even how you gain access to Fatal Blow is not the issue. In fact, it's a good thing. It ensures that you see the super move way more often. Once again, almost every match you'll see a Fatal Blow, and I think that's a good thing. Literally, all NetherRealm has to do for the next game is add the screen freeze, and I think they'll have the perfect super on their hands. But please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Fatal Blow? Do you want them gone forever, or do you like my ideas on how to change them and improve them for the better in the next game? And while you're down there commenting, make sure to leave a like as well. It really does help my channel out a ton. And then keep that combo going by subscribing and ringing that bell. That way you never miss a future video. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.